2022 Big Ten Championship game.
Let's talk about this Michigan team, though, once again, coming off that very emotional win over Ohio State. Blake Corum is out for the season. We know that with the knee injury. What are the emotions? Are they setting themselves up for a letdown in this particular game?
I believe there's letdowns, and I've been a part of it. It's a letdown when you're kind of an open throwing team. The Wolverines are a line of scrimmage team. If their quarterback has a bad day, that's okay. Their offensive line, they dominate the line of scrimmage. They've done that for 12 games this year. So most teams, I would say yes. I say this team's built with an offensive and defensive line, Reg. They've dominated all year, so chance of letdown is much less. I don't think there's a letdown.
I agree, Coach. When you're a physical run team, you can just line up and run the football all day, every day, and that's what Michigan has done. That's the ingredient, the main ingredient to the success of this team. Running the football, being physical for 4 quarters. J.J. McCarthy's also a part of that. He had a really big run, really big touchdown against Ohio State last week. They'll do the same thing again today.
Purdue's going to have a lot to say about that, of course. Michigan, once again, thinking about national championship game, a lot of people saying they're already in, coming off the win against Ohio State. But Purdue wants to win their first title since the year 2000. They got a good, capable team of doing that.
There's a lot to play for Purdue. I mean, Jeff Brom, the season they have, we were there week 0, you know, and when they played Penn State, and they've come a long way. They're 7-2 over their last 9 games. So this is a capable team. They got plenty of firepower on the offense. I think for me tonight, the concern is defensively, because when you talked about the line of scrimmage over their last 9 games, so this is a capable team. They got plenty of firepower on the offense. I think for me tonight, the concern is defensively, because when you talked about the line of scrimmage and the running game, this is what Michigan is. J.J. McCarthy can beat you throwing the football, but they are tried and true winning the line of scrimmage. Purdue, 8th in the Big Ten in rushing defense. They're going to have to figure out how to slow down Donovan Edwards and company. And then on top of that, Brady, you know, offensively, Charlie Jones, Aiden O'Connell, they got some dudes on that side that they can throw the ball, they can score some points.
Look, they're a big underdog, but they have all the pieces to pull off an upset. Jeff Brom has done this before. He's 3-0 on his last top 3 opponents that he's faced. Yeah. So you talking about Charlie Jones. Look, when they move him around, they're trying to target this young man. He leads the Big Ten in receiving receptions. He leads the receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, tied with Marvin Harrison. So he's a playmaker, but they also have Peyton Durham, which takes some pressure off of Charlie Jones at tight end. You'll see him on 3rd down. You'll see him targeting the red zone as well. They've got those components defensively better than people give them credit. They are giving up 23 points per game. They're still 36th in the country against the run. And so they can play physical. They've got to play on near perfect. That's the difference between this. And I think the one thing you're going to see from Coach Brom today, he's going to empty it out. He's going to throw the kitchen sink, Coach, at Michigan and test the
You have
teams. The flea flickers, everything else that's in his arsenal, you're probably going to see something tonight.
And I've always admired him as a coach, competed against him. When you follow his career, there's 2 things that are part of his career. Number 1 is toughness. I know they're a spread, throw the ball over, but they're a tough team. I've known people in that program. Toughness, number 1, and like Brady said, Reggie, creativity. You're going to see plays you've not seen all year. You're going to see this guy's one of the best play callers and one of the best game planners in college football.
And they have the lowest blitz percentage on defense. Very different from the Ohio State mindset when they ran a bunch of blitz zeros, and then Michigan was able to capitalize over the top with some deep passes and some explosive run plays.
To that point, too, so much man-to-man last week Michigan faced against Ohio State. See that cover 1-0. Not the case today. You'll see some man. It's a lot of mixture of zone coverages, too. So J.J. McCarthy's going to have to be on point after he snaps the football, identifying what he sees out there.
And once again, I got to go back to the stats that you just mentioned. Their last 3 against top 3 opponents, they're 3-0, so they're playing with a lot of confidence, feeling they can beat this Michigan team in the Big Ten championship game. But the last year's breakout season, Michigan carried big expectations in the 2022, and after beating out Cade McNamara to become the starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy's been at his best in the biggest moments.
Play action. J.J. McCarthy lobs it wide open. Caught at the 10, 5, touchdown. It's been a coming out party for him in the biggest game of his life.
It felt like I played that game 1,000 times already. Like, that's something that I've been dreaming about since I was 5. And just being able to go out there and really do it was something special.
I told him on Tuesday, I said, bro, you're going to win us this game. You're going to win us this game. And it's a moment he's preparing for his whole life.
We're always underestimated going into that game, and that's just the way we like it. We thrive off that, and it fuels us even more, so we welcome it.
J.J. McCarthy, he'll run it with a lane. Touchdown, Wolverines!
Last year I had the opportunity to, and I went outside and didn't hit the gap. And this year I was not going to let that gap slip up. I was going to take it no matter if I had a puller or not blocking for me. I was going to get in the end zone no matter what.
Beautiful job by McCarthy of stepping up. They said the kid couldn't throw a deep ball.
Just settling down in the moments of the game, not playing every single play like it's my last. Just being able to understand the game and find different outlooks of how to win the game in different ways.
He's got it. He's just got that it factor in every way. I don't think there's any first-year starter in the history of Michigan that's won 12 games, 12-0.
He can do it all. He can scramble. He can run. He's like a hockey player playing football. You know, he's so tough, physical, and he does anything for the team to win. Sky's the limit. There's really no ceiling for the kid. He can make all the throws. He can run. He's athletic, and he's smart. He's poised. He's got the charisma, and he's got that bright smile that everybody loves.
Welcome to Indianapolis.
The whole experience of the Big Ten Championship is tremendous, and I just can't wait to go be in that dome with all the Michigan fans, and all the work that we've put in is paying off. And it's just amazing for this university. It's amazing for all the people that support it, and we want to do it for them, honestly.
Well, as good as McCarthy was in his first 11 games, all wins, he was at his very best against the Buckeyes, throwing for 290 yards and 4 touchdowns while averaging 11 yards per throw. He had some big Ohio State. The big question coming into that game was, could he step up without Blake Corum? He answered that question. So what are your expectations tonight?
The same thing. All season long, he's done exactly what's been asked of him, whether that's being a game manager or whether that was last week where he had to actually step up and make some plays. And this is what he did. Great job manipulating the pocket. I know these guys are open down the field, but they had struggled consistently making these throws. And this is what I love. With zero pressure, know where you have to go with the one-on-one matchups, move and drift a little bit in the pocket, let your playmakers go make the plays. Here, too, again, eyes downfield. So I know these guys are screaming wide open, but these were the big explosive plays that we wanted to see from J.J. McCarthy, coach. He also used his legs. I thought he just matured and grew up and just was an unbelievable leader for that football team.
Yeah, I agree. I've always looked at the quarterback position a little bit differently. I've been blessed to have great quarterbacks through my whole career. To me, what separates a great quarterback is, number one, competitive spirit. Number two is toughness. And toughness, it's really evaluation friendly. What's that mean? You can evaluate it. The toughest thing a quarterback's got to do is stand in a pocket. He's going to get hit right in the nose and deliver a ball. There's no other player in the field that has to do that. They have to see where it's coming from. The second thing, a quarterback's job is to score points and get first downs. What's that mean? Whatever it takes. Reggie, it's third down and 3 on the 3-yard line. He launches himself, he gets hit on the 1, and he scores. That shows the toughness. You know what toughness in that position does? It makes the rest of the team. You have to be tough when you play with that guy.
Well, look, and you're talking about really elevating everyone else out around you. What he's trying to do is elevate Michigan, not just being a team that can win the Big Ten, beat Ohio State, but a team that also can go to the college football playoff and win it. They got there last year with Cade McNamara, but he didn't have the same type of skill set and ability that J.J. McCarthy has. That's why J.J. McCarthy's here in this spot. We had some questions about him before the big game last week. He answered those questions. The next step for him is continuing to climb on that path to lead Michigan, Reg, to a national championship. That's why they chose him over Cade McNamara.
Please welcome the Big Ten East champions and the number 2 team in the nation, the Michigan Wolverines. The Big Ten West champion, Purdue Boilermakers. Yard line. O'Connell, empty backfield. Here's O'Connell, steps up in the pocket. Under pressure, and he goes down. Jalen Harrell.
Wilson lost control at all as he's going to the ground. Watch as he's going to the ground. Well, see that look right there. Now that's one we haven't seen, Gus, and it does start to come loose just a little bit.
Mike Pereira joins us now. Mike, your thoughts on this play?
Yeah.
Down and 6. McCarthy with time in the pocket. Now starts to scramble. Squares his shoulders. McCarthy Nobody to throw it to. Finally gets rid of it to Ronnie Bell. What an acrobatic play by J.J. McCarthy on third. 5 now for the Wolverines out of the offset eye. Here's the reverse. No, it's McCarthy throwing in the corner. Touchdown, Michigan. Colston Loveland, back-to-back touchdown receptions. Last week in Columbus, tonight in Indianapolis.
Boy, you talk about a young star emerging before our eyes. Colston Loveland in double coverage. The tight end goes up and hauls that one in for a touchdown. This guy is really talented and is going to be an absolutely great player in college football moving forward. And what a catch that was. They really took off, won 7 of their last 9.
Second down and 9. O'Connell underneath, has a receiver, and it's a first down for Purdue. It's Rice. Mershon.
You can't get it done.
O'Connell now underneath, and he's got Chuck Sizzle. That's right. Charlie Jones has been hot this season. What is the deep man in the I formation? They'll give it to him. Plowing forward. No signal yet. And no gain on the play. So from the 48, play fake. O'Connell delivers. Caught at the 25. Chuck Sizzle. Charlie Jones, gain of 26.
5.
Second and 5. McCarthy delivers. Caught on the sideline of Ronnie Bell. Great throw. The 25. McCarthy in trouble. Here's JJ. Lets it go. Touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker. JJ McCarthy using his legs to buy time, and he throws the 7-yard touchdown from the 47. Aiden O'Connell in the pocket. Oh, what a strike. Aiden O'Connell throws a beautiful ball, and Purdue will take it away. He hit a 33-yarder on his first attempt. Finneran. And it's good.
All right, here we go. Jalen with a strong start and an early lead. See if Sarah can make up some ground here, make some noise, a lot of money.
Let's welcome in Alabama head coach Nick Saban. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us here on this Saturday night. As you know, no two-loss team has ever made it into the college football playoffs. Tell us why this year's Alabama team and what you've been able to accomplish deserves that right this year.
I think the whole goal is to get the best teams in. And what I would say to the committee or anyone else is if we played any of these teams that are on the edge or getting in, would we be the underdog or would we be the favorite? And I think if you can answer that question and the goal is to get the best teams in, then you would say they belong in there. You know, we lost 2 games on the road in a tough league to top 10 teams, one top 5 team on the last play of the game. We had our opportunities. We weren't 100%. Bryce Young was not 100%. He was injured in the mid part of the season. I think, you know, you show vulnerability when you get beat badly at the end of the season. Our team has played better at the end of the season. So that's kind of my reasoning.
Coach, it's Brady here. I'm just kind of curious as you talk through not only the tough schedule that you guys have played to a degree and a couple of those tight losses, who do you view then as the top 4 teams? Obviously, you guys see yourself, Alabama as one. Who do the other 3 teams then?
Well, I don't like to talk about other teams, but I think there's a lot of good teams out there. But I think when we talk about 1-loss teams versus 2-loss teams, you're looking just at metrics, rather than circumstances that surrounded the games that were won or lost. And I think that is a huge impact on really who's the best team. Let's get the best teams in the game. And I think that's everyone's goal. So there are good teams, but I think we have one of the teams that should be in because of where we are right now and the tough times that we went through the season. In the middle of the season, we weren't 100%.
Coach, it's Matt here. what do you think the committee should value more when they're picking the Final Four teams, the resume and who teams have beaten, or the eye test?
I don't know exactly what you mean by the eye test, but I think that the committee should look at how is a team playing right now relative to what the circumstances were of the entire body of work, what the competition you had to play against throughout the season. I don't think people realize how difficult it is in the SEC. And we played 5 road games this year, all top 25 teams. 3 of those 5 teams were top 10 teams. So that's a grueling schedule to have to play. And I know we lost 2 of those games on the last play of the game on the road in tough circumstances. But I think all those things should matter. And we shouldn't be just looking at metrics of 1 loss, 2 loss. I think who are the best teams?
Hey, Coach, it's Urban. Good to see you. We'll let you get back to your recruiting dinner here in a second. But how have you and your team handled the reality that for the first time in many years that this getting into college football playoffs out of your hands, it's in the committees? I know that used to drive me nuts. But how'd you guys handle it?
Well, I know our guys are all hopeful that they get the opportunity to play. I know they're going to play against a good team, regardless of who we play, whether we get in or we don't get in. And I'm sure they're looking forward to that because they're great competitors. They've been a really good group all year, and they've showed tremendous resiliency to overcome a lot of adversity to finish the year with 3 really good wins. So I think they're handling it really well, and I really like this group, and I'd love to see them get an opportunity.
Hey, Coach Saban, thanks for joining us, man. This is Reggie Bush here. It's an honor to speak to you. Every year we sit up here and we do this, and we try to figure out who are the top 4 teams. Do you think that expansion is the solution to college football?
I think it's one of the solutions because I said when we went to a 14 playoff that bowl games would become relatively insignificant. They kind of have, and I think that's a shame because I think that was one of the great traditions of college football was that players could get a lot of positive self-gratification for playing in a nice bowl game, and so could their fans. So if that's the case, we might as well expand the playoffs to 12 teams. So at this time of the year, we'd have 20 to 25 teams probably still vying for positions to get in. There would be a lot more interest. I think it would be interesting to the fans. I'm not sure of the best way to implement a 12-team playoff, but I am in favor of doing that because I think, bowl games are not what they used to be.
All right, we'll get that intrigue in a couple of years. Coach Saban, good luck tomorrow with the selection. Good luck wherever you're playing, whether it's in a bowl game or in the college football playoffs. And thanks for joining us here today on Fox Sports.
Well, thank you so much. Let's just get the best teams in there.
All right.
Here's Edwards. Jitterbugging Edwards hits the edge. Here's the burst. Donovan Edwards. Can he get there? The dot out of bounds. A big gain. And we told you they're a second half team. And look at how they start the second half. Mulling, second man through. Did he get there? Touchdown, Wolverines. And just like that, Michigan, who deferred in the first half, receives the... Edwards breaks it back, makes a cut. Donovan Edwards to dot! Again! Touchdown, Michigan. 27 yards.
Puts the list up and they check off everyone they got and said it's amazing how many they check off each Monday.
This one caught Charlie Jones. And Jones out of bounds. Nice throw, nice catch. A 32-yard gain.
When in doubt, who do you throw the ball to? Chuck Sezel. And he comes up. I've actually ever seen this play. The fake flea flicker. Here he goes, stops and he goes like this. And then he just gets run by Junior Colson. It almost works like a middle screen, really. And that's why it kind of looks from above. But that was so effective and a brilliant Jeff Braun.
First down at the 18. O'Connell throwing off his back foot. Intercepted. Will Johnson. And we have our first turnover of the game. And buffs are these fancy glasses, folks, that the kids are wearing. Cartier glasses. A staple in Detroit. And every time one of the Michigan players gets an interception, he gets to go to the sideline and wear the turnover cardies, or the turnover buffs as they call it.
Being official, this is the hat cam on the line judge, Rudy Studd. So if anyone knows what, this is what it's like talking to Jim Harbaugh on the sideline during a timeout. How good is that?
McCarthy bouncing all day to throw the football. McCarthy buying time, lets it fly, and intercepted. Jamari Brown with the interception, and J.J. McCarthy throws a pick.
A coach, so he says, I got to get my ball to that guy. Let's call a screen, but it was snuffed out by Michigan's defense.
54 catches, 550 yards for Durham coming into this game. O'Connell underneath, and it's intercepted again. Wow! Will Johnson with his second pick, and he just jumped that route.
And has become a defensive back and tackle him, and now that's 2 interceptions for the young Will Johnson.
That'll put the fancy glasses on once again. McCarthy surveying, end zone, touchdown, Ronnie Bell. What a throw. In formation here, partner. What's this?
With a swinging gate.
McCarthy rolls out, hits the edge, throws it back, caught, Schoonmaker, and they convert. Moments away from back-to-back Big Ten titles and back-to-back playoff bursts. And a touchdown here. Kalel Mullins. And Michigan takes a 42-22 lead.
Congratulations, you get to check another goal off of that list. How did you guys get it done today to be Big Ten champs?
I mean, everything we've done every single week, the constant preparation that was done in the off season and the execution on a weekly basis. So we're doing us, and it worked out.
This was a 1-point game at the half. What was said inside that locker room?
I mean, we've been in that situation before multiple times, and it wasn't really anything but the usual. We got 30 minutes, give it our all, and we're the best second-half team in the country, and it showed again.
I know this team misses Blake Corum. How would you describe the way that Donovan Edwards and that run game continues to produce?
I mean, it's next man up. You put anyone back there, they're going to still get yards. But Donovan, he's a special back. He's a special human being, and I'm so happy he's on our side.
How does it feel to not only be Big Ten champions, but to know the position you have put this team in for the college football playoff?
I mean, we said we were going to be back last year, and it's just amazing that we are back. And we're not going to have that same taste in our mouth from last year, that's for sure.
JJ, congratulations. Thank you so much. Yes.
All right, Allison. We'll be back after this short.
Coach Harbaugh, back-to-back Big Ten champions. How's that sound?
It sounds great. You know, all credit goes to these men up here. We've talked about it's not a grim mission. It's been a happy mission. But more than that, it's been a godly mission. And we thank our Lord and Savior.
Coach, I've been around this team now for a number of years covering you guys. We called 6 of your games this year, and I can tell you that there is an uncommon bond and chemistry amongst these men on this team. Where does that come from?
It really comes from them. A lot of people talk about culture, but it's beyond culture. It's a brotherhood amongst the staff, amongst the players, and again, that's what it is. I mean, it's love. It's love about been perseverance. It's been great love, and we're happy to be back-to-back champs. Ronnie Bell, get in here, Ronnie.
Tonight's MVP of the 2022 Big Ten Championship game is Donovan Edwards.
My man, appreciate it.
Donovan, you and your teammates, you watched one of your own go down against Illinois. Real key piece of this team, one of your leaders, your teammate, your running back mate, Blake Corum. Ever since then, you've stepped up. Over 200 yards last week against the Buckeyes, over 180 yards tonight in the championship game. Tell me what it means to you to step up and do what you've done in the absence of Blake Corum.
First and foremost, I couldn't do this without my Lord and Savior. You know, I'm blessed to be able to do this in the name of the Lord and praise His name after this big-time game that we just played. We back-to-back champions. Shout out to Blake Corum. Blake Corum is the best running back in college football. He deservedly needs the Heisman. If he didn't get hurt, he would have easily won the Heisman. So shout out to Blake Corum. This for you, baby.
Donovan, one last question. There's been a clear mission with this team, and it was plain as day last Saturday and then here tonight in the championship game. You guys have your eyes fixed on what's to come. You're 13-0 now. Tell us what your goals are ahead.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory what our goals are. I believe that we talked about it all year, and it's not really much more need to be said. I want to give another shout out to the best running backs coach, Mike Hart, and the best college football team, and my best friends on this team, my brothers, the Michigan football team. I love y'all boys. Let's go do what our main goal is.
Back in 1997, he led them to a national championship their last, and perhaps these guys will lead them to another national championship. We got the entire team, the Michigan Wolverines, joining us right now, celebrating, including Coach Jim Harbaugh here, and of course quarterback J.J.
Before, this hat means nothing. Job's not finished yet. Job's not finished.